Hello everyone, my name is Pojo and welcome to the Eternal Spoiler Breakdown. We have a new promo card for you today. One moment. We have a new promo card for you today. This is Justa, Regglar Jotun, and this tall, mysterious, and handsome giant is a 6/6 for 6 with a bevy of useful features, such as being tall enough to ride any ride, old enough to drink and purchase firearms, and not being suspicious in any way, shape, or form. Justa is a 6/6 with when Justa takes damage and survives, you get to sacrifice him to play a 1/1 Yeti Spy and a 2/2 Yeti Snowchucker and a 3/3 Slush Dumper, proving that friends in need are friends indeed. As a giant and Yeti type himself, curious, he is pretty easily available as one of the largest Yeti that you can pick up. A card that can spar with a Sandstorm Titan, survive, and then vanish into the Aether to play a bunch of new cards, thus netting you a decent amount of card advantage, especially if you happen to have something like Wump on the field, where you can immediately play the Yeti Spy, draw a card, play the Yeti Snowchucker, get yourself a snowball, and then play the Slush Dumper and activate to get like an extra 3 damage out of the 3. Plus, Slush Dumper plays very well with both Snowchucker and Yeti Spy. Both of them, they all work together in a pretty simple setup, and if just a Regglar Jotun is on the field on the first turn and actually manages to combat with something in a way that forces you to block it, then Slush Dumper can then activate, because you'll have power open, to activate Snowchucker's ability and activate Yeti Spy's ability. This means that if you can fulfill all of the different requirements on Justa, Justa is capable of drawing cards while also playing out a pile of different units, and basically leveraging all the good advantages of having Yetis in Spies and Snowchuckers and Slush Dumpers together. Overall, I don't think this is a super powerful card, but it is very, very fun. There's a lot of dumb things going on with it, and if you can actually get it out and get it to survive a hit, then, you know, the value for it is pretty reasonable, especially since Slush Dumper really tends to play well with other Yetis, and if you're going into a lot of aggressive Yetis, like, I think there's definitely something to that. Like, you get to play at least 3 more Yetis than you normally would, possibly 4 more. I mean, if you count Justa, it is technically 4 cards for 1, but you do have to actually get Justa to spar with something, or you have to torture Snowball Justa to pop him and create all of the different things. Fortunately, snowballs are readily available in any Yeti tribal deck, so it's pretty easy to just play Justa and then immediately cause him to blow up into a bunch of different Yeti if you want to play a mini sort of scouting party effect that comes with a free Slush Dumper to deliver scouting parties and do other interesting things. Overall, I'm not sure how good this card is. It doesn't seem like it's stronger than Scouting Party, which is a 6-bar for 4 1/1 Yeti Spies, and that card is pretty dang good in Yeti decks. If you wanted to play this card in a deck that doesn't have Yetis, like, en masse, then that's probably fine. Like, he is reasonably good at trading, he's okay at basically, like, just getting you lots of interesting advantages in terms of what's on board and what isn't. I don't think the card's particularly fun, but the lore on it is fantastic, and it looks like this particular giant knows how to have a good time. So yeah, I would say that there's some other ideas that you can play with. Wump is clearly the strongest one. If you want to do like Mask Makers or other setups, Justa does get the benefits from all of the things that target Yetis, since he is a Yeti subtype in addition to being a giant. One nice thing we did forget to mention is that if you do have some sort of fast spell damage dealer, such as a Torch or a Temper or a Storm Spiral, anything where you can deal damage to Justa yourself at fast speed, you can use it as a sort of impromptu counter spell, where if your opponent targets Justa with an Annihilate or a Death Strike because it is just a little bit too big, you can then Storm Spiral, split it into 3 different Yetis, and then the Yetis won't die to anything. They'll just be summoned onto the board. So that's kind of a unique little trick there. One little bonus of having Justa out there. And of course, if you're playing in a deck where you're aggro versus aggro, hailstorming your own stuff will still get you a Yeti, a Snowchucker, and a Slush Dumper at the end of the hailstorm. So even though you do lose Justa to the hailstorm, you get a pile of extra Yetis on top of that, and that can be pretty fun if you're doing aggro versus aggro. And yeah, I think we've solved the mystery as far as things go of what the relation is between Yeti and giants. Clearly, this card defines all of it and ties it all perfectly together. I don't really have too much to say about this card. I think it's great. It should be out right now, so you can play for the next week or so to get the card, and you will get up to 4 copies of it this week for free, and then after that you'll probably have to purchase it with Stone. But I don't think it's particularly ranked competitive. It's just interesting and fun and kind of goofy, and I think you can definitely style on your opponents a little bit with it. So that's my evaluation of that one. Thank you so much for watching. We'll have some other Eternal content up for you very shortly. Have a really good night, everyone. Cheers. Where's the Jotun?